In 2025, it's time to step up, to rise, and to destroy the weak version of yourself that's been holding you back. You know, the one that doubts your potential, the one that says maybe tomorrow, the one that lets fear dictate your decisions. It's time to let go of all the excuses and all the comfort zones that have kept you stagnant. This year, you've got to do more than just dream. You've got to act. You've been given an opportunity, a new year, a fresh start. But that's not enough. You've got to be willing to do the work, the hard work, even when no one is watching. Every goal you set, every challenge you face, and every obstacle you overcome will bring you closer to a version of yourself that is unstoppable. But to get there, you need to burn away the weakness, the self-doubt, the laziness, and the fear. These things do not belong in the future you're building. The first key point for destroying the weak version of yourself in 2025 is to take action now. In the world we live in today, it's easy to become trapped in the cycle of waiting for the perfect moment, the right circumstances, or a burst of inspiration to strike before taking the first step toward your goals. However, the truth is that the perfect moment will never come. Success is not reserved for those who wait for everything to align perfectly. It is built by those who take consistent, deliberate action, even when conditions are less than ideal. The most successful people in the world didn't get where they are by waiting. They started where they were with what they had and took the necessary steps to move forward. They understood that action is the bridge between dreams and reality. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often not talent or luck, but the willingness to act in spite of fear, uncertainty, or discomfort. You might be sitting there thinking, I'm not ready, or I need more time, or what if I fail? These thoughts are normal, but they are also the very things keeping you stuck. The weak version of yourself is the one who succumbs to these doubts, postponing your dreams indefinitely. The stronger version of yourself recognizes that you don't need to wait for perfection. You just need to take one step, then another, and keep going. The key is in the momentum that builds when you act. Imagine standing at the edge of a precipice. You know that you need to take a leap, but the fear of the unknown keeps you rooted to the ground. You stand there paralyzed, waiting for the fear to subside, for the path to become clearer. But the longer you wait, the more uncertain you feel, and the opportunity slips away. Taking action, however small, is like stepping off that ledge. In the beginning, it may feel daunting, but once you take the first step, you gain clarity, you gain momentum, and you start moving forward. That first step, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is the key to unlocking the future you've always dreamed of. Taking action doesn't mean you need to have all the answers right away. In fact, you won't have all the answers. You won't know exactly how things will unfold, but that's part of the journey. You need to embrace the uncertainty. When you take action, even without knowing all the details, you begin to learn and adapt. You encounter obstacles, but instead of letting them discourage you, you find solutions, grow from your mistakes, and get better along the way. Every action you take, no matter how imperfect, brings you closer to the person you are meant to become. The act of taking action helps you build discipline, know, and resilience. So it's easy to make excuses for why you can't do something. But when you begin to take action every day, even in the face of obstacles or discomfort, you develop a mindset of perseverance. You understand that progress isn't always linear. Some days will be harder than others. But as long as you continue moving forward, you are making progress. When you decide to take action, you are also choosing to stop being a spectator in your own life. Too many people sit on the sidelines, watching others live their dreams, wishing they could be as successful, as happy, or as fulfilled. They let the fear of failure paralyze them, and in doing so, they miss out on the incredible opportunities that life has to offer. Taking action is your opportunity to stop being a passive observer and become an active participant in the creation of your future. There is no such thing as a perfect time to start. Waiting for the stars to align or for all your conditions to be perfect is a surefire way to ensure you never start. The perfect time is right now. You might not feel ready, but readiness comes with experience, and experience comes through action. The longer you wait, the more you delay your own growth and success. It's important to recognize that progress, no matter how small, is still progress. You don't have to accomplish everything in one day, but you must make a commitment to act consistently. Whether it's sending that email, writing that first page, or making that phone call, every step you take is bringing you closer to the life you want to create. The key is consistency. Taking action isn't just about one grand leap, it's about the small, everyday steps that compound over time. The more you act, the more confident you become in your ability to handle challenges and achieve your goals. Taking action now means shedding the mindset that your future success depends on external circumstances. You don't need to wait for things to be perfect. You don't need to wait for someone's approval or validation. The power to shape your future is in your hands, and it starts with the choices you make today. And make the decision to act now. Take the first step, even if it's small, and let the momentum carry you forward. As you do, you'll discover that your dreams aren't as far out of reach as they once seemed. They're waiting for you, but only if you take action. Letting go of excuses is one of the most powerful things you can do to destroy the weak version of yourself in 2025. Excuses are the silent killers of dreams, and they have the ability to keep you trapped in mediocrity, unable to reach your full potential. We all make excuses, but they are more than just words we say. They are barriers we create to protect ourselves from facing uncomfortable truths, difficult challenges, and the hard work that success requires. If you are truly committed to growth, you must first learn how to recognize and eliminate these excuses, no matter how convincing they may seem. One of the most common excuses people make is, "I don't have enough time." Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, yet some people accomplish far more than others. Time is not the issue. How we choose to spend our time is. The weak version of yourself will tell you that you are too busy, too overwhelmed, or too exhausted to pursue your goals. But the reality is that everyone has time to focus on what's important to them. It's about priorities. If you are committed to making a change, you will find a way to prioritize what matters most. You may need to wake up earlier, stay up later, or give up some of your distractions, but it can be done. The key is to stop letting time be an excuse for inaction. Another common excuse is, "I don't have enough resources or skills." Too often, people think they need everything to be perfectly aligned before they can take action. They want to have the right equipment, the perfect knowledge, or the ideal support system in place. But the truth is, you can start right where you are with what you have. The weak version of yourself believes that without the perfect set of resources, you can't move forward. But the strong version knows that creativity, resourcefulness, and persistence are more important than having every resource at your disposal. Think about successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and innovators. They didn't have everything they needed at the start, but they used what they had and learned as they went. The key is to take what you have and make the most of it. Don't let the lack of perfect resources stop you from moving forward. Then there's the excuse of fear. "I'm afraid of failing." Fear is one of the most powerful excuses we make because it feels legitimate. After all, no one wants to fail. But here's the truth. Failure is not the end. It's part of the process. The weak version of yourself sees failure as something to be avoided at all costs. It's a source of shame, regret, and a reason to quit. The stronger version of yourself recognizes that failure is a lesson, not a life sentence. Every successful person has failed countless times, but they didn't let it stop them. They learned from it and kept moving forward. Fear of failure will always exist, but you have to learn how to push through it. Embrace failure as a teacher, not an obstacle. Another excuse people often make is, "I'm not good enough," or "I'm not ready." This is a classic self-doubt excuse that can keep you stuck in a perpetual state of hesitation. You might think you need to be perfect before you take action, but the reality is that no one is perfect. And no one is truly ready at the beginning of their journey. You don't need to have everything figured out. The process of becoming good enough happens through consistent effort and learning. You become skilled, experienced, and capable by doing, not by waiting for some magical moment when you feel ready. The weak version of yourself will tell you that you aren't good enough to start. But the truth is, you are more than capable of improving as you go. The only thing standing between you and success is the decision to begin. One of the more insidious excuses is, "I'll start tomorrow." This is the procrastination excuse, and is a trap that so many of us fall into. It feels easy to push things off until the next day, the next week, or the next month, but the truth is that tomorrow often never comes. The future will always seem like a better time to start, but the longer you wait, the further away your goals will seem. The weak version of yourself tells you that tomorrow is the right time, but the stronger version knows that today is the only time you have. Every day you delay your progress is one day further from achieving what you want. You can make excuses all you want, but time will continue to pass and the opportunity to change will slip through your fingers. The key is to act today, even if it's just a small step forward. Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin, because it will never come. Lastly, there's the excuse of "what will people think?" This is a powerful excuse rooted in fear of judgment and criticism. The weak version of yourself is concerned with how others will perceive you and whether you'll be accepted. But the stronger version understands that the opinions of others are not your concern. People will always have something to say, some will support you, while all others will doubt you. The key is to stop letting the fear of judgment hold you back. When you are focused on your goals and your vision, the opinions of others no longer have power over you. You are not living your life for them. You are living it for you. So let go of the excuse that you need others' approval before you can take action. The excuses we make are often rooted in fear, insecurity, and a desire for comfort. But to destroy the weak version of yourself in 2025, you must let go of these excuses. They are the chains that bind you to a life of mediocrity, and they can only hold you back if you allow them to. You have everything you need to succeed right now. All it takes is a willingness to face your fears, to take action, and to stop making excuses. It's time to stop hiding behind the stories you've been telling yourself. It's time to step into your power, to own your future, and to take full responsibility for your life. Let go of your excuses and embrace the opportunity to build the life you've always wanted. Self looks for excuses and places blame on others, but the strong version embraces the power to change, grow, learn, and succeed from failures, regardless of what has happened. One of the most crucial steps in destroying the past. When you're the weak version, you take of yourself responsibility in 2020. Take control of your future and unlock your true potential. Too many people view failure as something to be avoided at all costs, as something that marks the end of a journey or a sign of inadequacy. But the truth is that failure is not the enemy. It is, in fact, one of the most powerful teachers you can have. The weak version of yourself sees failure as a reason to quit, to give up, and to turn away from your goals. But the stronger version understands that failure is not the end, it's part of the process. And often the very thing that helps you grow, adapt, and eventually succeed. First and foremost, failure teaches us resilience. It's easy to remain motivated and optimistic when things are going well, but true growth happens when things don't go as planned. When you experience failure, it forces you to confront your weaknesses, reevaluate your strategies, and learn from your mistakes. The weak version of yourself may view failure as a personal defeat, something to feel ashamed of. But the strong version understands that setbacks and challenges are a natural part of any process. They are the moments that build character and fortitude. Failure doesn't have to crush your spirit. It can instead build resilience by teaching you how to bounce back and keep moving forward even when things get tough. Another important lesson failure provides is clarity. Sometimes it's only through failing that we realize what's not working and what needs to change. When you're cruising along and things are going smoothly, it's easy to ignore the flaws in your approach. But failure forces you to take a hard look at what went wrong and why it didn't work out. This clarity is essential for making course corrections. The weak version of yourself may blame external factors, circumstances, other people, or even luck when things don't go as planned. But the stronger version understands that the power to change lies within you. When you fail, it's an opportunity to reflect, to analyze, and to make necessary adjustments that will move you closer to your goal. Failure also teaches you humility. In our society, we are often taught that success is the ultimate goal and that only success is worth celebrating. However, there is much wisdom to be gained from the experience of failure. It forces you to confront your limitations and accept that you are not infallible. Humility, in this context, is not about self-deprecation, but about accepting your imperfections, learning from them, and recognizing that growth comes from embracing your mistakes. The weak version of yourself may have an ego that resists failure because it's uncomfortable or challenging to admit flaws. The stronger version understands that everyone makes mistakes, and that's part of what makes us human. Humility allows you to grow, learn, and adapt in ways that success alone never could. Failure is a powerful motivator. When you fail, it can feel like a heavy blow to your confidence, but it also sparks a desire to prove yourself, to learn, and to come back stronger. This motivation is crucial for driving continued effort. It's easy to give up when you encounter an obstacle, but when you fail and refuse to stay down, you fuel the fire inside of you to keep pushing forward. Every failure can become a source of inspiration if you choose to let it motivate you. The weak version of yourself may feel defeated and discouraged when faced with failure, but the stronger version channels that energy into even greater reason to succeed. The drive that comes from failure is often stronger and more focused than the motivation that comes from success because it's born from the desire to improve and to overcome adversity. One of the most valuable aspects of failure is the opportunity to build new skills. Every time you fail, you are given a chance to reassess your approach, learn a new way of thinking, and develop new strategies. Success often comes from mastering a set of skills, and those skills are forged through experience, particularly through the lessons learned from failure. The weak version of yourself might shy away from challenging situations, worried that they might lead to failure, but the stronger version embraces the chance to learn something new. Each failure is an opportunity to sharpen your skills, gain new insights, and ultimately become better equipped for future challenges. Additionally, failure teaches patience and perseverance. The road to success is rarely a straight line, and most people will face setbacks, delays, and moments of doubt along the way. Failure teaches you how to stay the course, even when things don't go according to plan. It teaches you that success doesn't happen overnight, and that the journey toward your goals requires ongoing effort, persistence, and the willingness to keep going when things get difficult. The weak version of yourself might give up at the first sign of difficulty, but the stronger version understands that success is built over time, and that the most successful people are those who can endure and persevere, no matter how many failures they encounter along the way. Failure helps you redefine what success means. Many people have a narrow view of success, equating it with a specific outcome or achievement. But failure allows you to shift your perspective on success, seeing it not as an endpoint, but as a journey. Success becomes about growth, learning, and progress, not just about reaching a destination. The weak version of yourself might see failure as proof that you're not cut out for success, but the stronger version understands that every failure is a stepping stone toward the bigger picture. It's not about achieving perfection, but about getting closer to your best self, one failure at a time. If you want to destroy the weak version of yourself in 2025, you must learn to embrace failure, not fear it. Failure is an essential part of the process of growth and success. It teaches resilience, clarity, humility, motivation, skill building, patience, and a broader perspective on success. By learning from your failures, you are setting yourself up for a future where you are no longer defined by your mistakes, but by your ability to overcome them and continue striving toward your goals. Taking full responsibility for your actions is one of the most powerful steps you can take in destroying the weak version of yourself in 2025. Far too many people live their lives pointing fingers at others, blaming circumstances, or making excuses when things go wrong. This mindset holds them back from achieving their true potential. The weak version of yourself wants to place blame on external factors, to find someone or something else to blame for why things didn't go as planned. But the stronger version of yourself knows that the only person who is ultimately responsible for your success or failure is you. Taking responsibility for your life means embracing the fact that you have the power to shape your destiny through the choices you make, the actions you take, and the mindset you develop. When you take responsibility, you stop allowing outside forces to control your narrative. Life is unpredictable, and while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you respond. By taking responsibility for your actions and decisions, you shift the power back into your hands. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the creator of your own future. The weak version of yourself will make excuses, saying things like, "It wasn't my fault," or "I had no choice." But the stronger version understands that no matter what happens, you always have a choice in how you respond. This is not to say that life doesn't present challenges. Everyone faces hardships, whether it's personal struggles, career setbacks, or external obstacles. However, taking responsibility means recognizing that while you may not be able to control the challenges you face, you are entirely in control of how you respond to them. Instead of allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by difficulty, you can choose to learn from it, to adapt, and to persevere. Every setback is an opportunity to grow, and taking responsibility means not allowing any challenge to be an excuse for quitting or remaining stagnant. Taking responsibility also means owning your mistakes. Many people shy away from admitting when they are wrong. The weak version of yourself will be quick to blame others or find external reasons for why something didn't work out. But the strong version of yourself takes full ownership of your failures. When you own your mistakes, you free yourself from the cycle of denial and self-deception that keeps you stuck. It is through acknowledging your errors that you are able to learn from them and avoid making the same mistakes in the future. This honesty with yourself is a key part of personal growth. When you can look at your mistakes without shame, without anger, and simply see them as opportunities to learn, you make room for improvement and personal evolution. One of the most powerful aspects of taking responsibility is the ability to control your future. The weak version of yourself will often say, it's too late to change, or this is just how things are. But the truth is that your future is not determined by your past, and it is never too late to take charge of your life. By taking responsibility for your actions and decisions today, you create a foundation for a better tomorrow. The choices you make today are building the life you will have in the future. If you are unhappy with your current situation, taking responsibility means recognizing that you have the power to make different choices moving forward. Taking responsibility also means recognizing that the habits you cultivate today will shape your future. The weak version of yourself may blame a lack of success on things like bad luck, poor timing, or unfavorable circumstances. But the strong version understands that the foundation of your future is built on the actions you take right now. If you want a different life, you must make different choices today. By taking responsibility for your habits, your work ethic, your discipline, your mindset, you begin to create the future you desire. This shift in perspective is incredibly empowering because it means you are no longer at the mercy of outside forces. You are in control of your destiny. Another key aspect of taking responsibility is letting go of the need for external validation. When you rely on others to tell you how good you are or how successful you are, you give away your power. The weak version of yourself constantly seeks approval and validation from others, looking for external affirmation to feel worthy. But the strong version of yourself doesn't need anyone else's approval to know their value. When you take responsibility for your actions, you begin to define your own success, and you stop waiting for others to tell you that you're on the right track. Instead of relying on praise or feedback, you trust in your own judgment, your vision, and your ability to create the life you want. Taking full responsibility for your life also means not letting fear dictate your actions. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to success, and the weak version of yourself often lets fear control decisions. Whether it's fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of judgment, fear can keep you from pursuing your dreams. But when you take responsibility, you acknowledge that fear will always be present, but you choose not to let it stop you. The stronger version of yourself understands that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to take action despite it. By taking responsibility for your choices, you can act in spite of fear, moving toward your goals with determination and faith in your abilities. Finally, taking responsibility means being accountable for your own happiness. Many people look to external circumstances, relationships, jobs, money as the sources of their happiness. But the truth is, your happiness is a choice, not something that happens to you. The weak version of yourself will blame others for your unhappiness, saying things like, I would be happy if only I had a better job, or I would be happy if I had a partner. But the strong version understands that happiness comes from within. Taking responsibility for your own happiness means recognizing that you have the power to choose how you feel, regardless of what's happening around you. When you stop depending on others or external circumstances to dictate your emotional state, you take back control of your life and your happiness. Taking full responsibility for your life is the foundation of personal transformation. It means acknowledging that you are the architect of your own success and that your choices, actions, and mindset determine the course of your life. The weak version of yourself looks for excuses and places blame on others, but the strong version embraces the power to change, grow, and succeed, regardless of what has happened in the past. When you take responsibility, you take control of your future and unlock your true potential. Embracing the mindset of long-term commitment is essential in destroying the weak version of yourself in 2020. Too often, people are driven by short-term gratification, seeking immediate results or rewards for their efforts. This mindset is the enemy of sustained growth and success because it leads to impatience, frustration, and ultimately giving up when results don't come quickly enough. The weak version of yourself is focused on instant outcomes, whether it's the desire to lose weight in a week, achieve financial success in a month, or gain fame overnight. But the stronger version understands that true success is built over time and lasting transformation requires long-term dedication. Commitment is not just about showing up once or twice. It's about consistently showing up day after day, week after week, year after year, no matter how long it takes or how challenging the journey becomes. The weak version of yourself will often become discouraged by setbacks, distractions, or periods of slow progress. It may start with enthusiasm, but quickly lose momentum when results don't meet expectations. The stronger version, however, keeps going, understanding that growth is rarely linear. There will be ups and downs, but the key is to stay committed to the process. Every step, no matter how small, is a step closer to achieving your goals. A major part of long-term commitment is developing patience. Patience is not simply waiting without action. It's the ability to endure challenges, setbacks, and delays without losing sight of your vision. In today's world, we are conditioned to expect quick results. With technology, instant gratification is more accessible than ever. But real, meaningful progress doesn't work that way. If you want to create lasting change in your life, you have to be willing to invest the time and effort required, even when the results aren't immediately visible. The weak version of yourself will find it hard to wait for results and might give up when things don't happen as fast as they want. The stronger version understands that success takes time and that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Another aspect of long-term commitment is the ability to stay focused on your goals, even when distractions come your way. The journey towards success is rarely straightforward. Along the way, there will be many distractions, both internal and external, that can lead you off course. Life events, emotional challenges, and unexpected circumstances can all divert your attention and energy away from your primary objectives. The weak version of yourself may get sidetracked by these distractions, losing sight of the bigger picture and abandoning their goals. But the stronger version remains focused, constantly realigning with their mission, no matter how tempting or urgent other things may seem. Long-term commitment requires a deep sense of purpose and clarity of vision. When you have a clear understanding of what you want to achieve, it becomes easier to ignore distractions and stay on track. Letting go of toxic influences is one of the most transformative actions you can take in destroying the weak version of yourself in 2025. Your environment, both the people you surround yourself with and the circumstances you put yourself in, plays a huge role in shaping your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your success. The weak version of yourself often remains entangled in relationships or situations that drain your energy, reduce your self-esteem, and prevent you from reaching your full potential. These toxic influences may come in many forms: negative people, unsupportive friends or family, draining work environments, unhealthy habits, or even self-destructive thoughts. But the stronger version understands that in order to truly thrive, it is necessary to identify and cut ties with anything or anyone that holds you back from becoming the best version of yourself. First, let's acknowledge the impact that toxic people can have on your growth. Many people in our lives may not intentionally seek to bring us down, but their negativity, cynicism, or critical attitudes can slowly erode our confidence and enthusiasm. This includes those who are constantly negative, complain about everything, or those who make you feel small, worthless, or incapable. These individuals often sow doubt in your mind and keep you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. The weak version of yourself may tolerate these relationships, thinking that they are necessary for comfort or out of a sense of obligation, but the stronger version understands that growth requires boundaries. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, who challenge you to be better, and who celebrate your victories is essential for progress. You don't need to stay in relationships that make you feel diminished or unworthy. Cutting out toxic people isn't about being cruel. It's about protecting your own energy and mental well-being. It's also important to recognize that toxic influences aren't always people. They can come in the form of habits, environments, or even the media you consume. If you are constantly exposed to negativity, whether through news, social media, or the entertainment you consume, your mindset can become skewed toward pessimism and fear. The weak version of yourself may not recognize the subtle influence, allowing these negative inputs to seep into your thoughts, often without even realizing it. But the stronger version of yourself becomes intentional about what they allow into their minds. They understand that their thoughts and beliefs are shaped by the media they consume, the conversations they have, and the situations they put themselves in. If you want to destroy the weak version of yourself, you need to take control of the influences that you allow into your life. Choose to consume content that empowers you, educates you, and encourages you to think bigger rather than content that fosters fear, doubt, and hopelessness. Another aspect of toxic influences is staying in unhealthy or unproductive environments. Whether it's a toxic workplace, a home environment filled with conflict or negativity, or simply being in spaces that don't align with your values or aspirations, these environments can drain your energy and hinder your growth. The weak version of yourself may find it difficult to leave these situations because of comfort, familiarity, or fear of change. It's often easier to stay where you are, even if it's not serving your highest good, than to step into the unknown and make a change. However, the stronger version of yourself recognizes that your environment plays a huge role in your mindset and actions. You need to be in a space that nurtures your growth, challenges you to be better, and supports your vision. If you find yourself in an environment that stifles your potential or reinforces negative patterns, it's time to make a change. Whether that means changing jobs, finding new circles of friends, or even arranging your home to reflect your goals, you need to create an environment that aligns with your vision for the future. Toxic influences are also tied to the negative self-talk and limiting beliefs that we often carry around. Sometimes the most toxic influence is the one that comes from within. The weak version of yourself is constantly plagued by thoughts of inadequacy, fear of failure, and a belief that you are not capable of achieving your goals. These internal toxins can be just as damaging, if not more so, than external negative influences. The stronger version of yourself works actively to challenge and overcome these limiting beliefs. They understand that in order to break free from the weak version of themselves, they must stop listening to the inner critic that tells them they're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. Instead of allowing these thoughts to control them, the stronger version rewires their thinking to focus on their strengths, potential, and the possibilities that lie ahead. This requires consistent effort and a commitment to replacing negative thought patterns with more empowering beliefs. Letting go of toxic influences also means distancing yourself from past mistakes and failures that may be holding you back. Often, people carry the weight of their past with them, allowing previous mistakes to define their present actions. The weak version of yourself may continue to operate from a place of guilt or regret, limiting your ability to move forward because you are still attached to what happened in the past. The stronger version understands that the past does not dictate the future. Letting go of past mistakes, failures, and regrets frees up mental and emotional space to focus on the present and the future. Each day is a new opportunity to make different choices, take different actions, and move toward a better version of yourself. Finally, toxic influences can stem from unhealthy habits or routines that reinforce the weak version of yourself. If you continue to engage in habits that don't serve your goals, such as procrastination, neglecting your health, or avoiding responsibilities, you are perpetuating a cycle that keeps you stuck. The weak version of yourself may make excuses for these habits, telling yourself that it's not that bad or that you'll start tomorrow. But the stronger version understands that success is built on daily habits, and breaking free from toxic behaviors is a key part of transformation. This means developing new habits that support your goals, such as practicing discipline, being consistent, prioritizing your health, and holding yourself accountable. The power to destroy the weak version of yourself lies in your ability to identify, confront, and eliminate toxic influences from your life. Whether it's negative people, unproductive environments, harmful habits, or self-limiting beliefs, these influences hold you back from reaching your full potential. By consciously removing them from your life, you create space for positivity, growth, and empowerment. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, fill your mind with positive and inspiring content, and create an environment that aligns with your dreams. Let go of the toxic habits and negative thought patterns that limit your progress, and make room for new ways of thinking, being, and doing. When you free yourself from toxic influences, you open the door to limitless possibilities and a more powerful version of yourself. To destroy the weak version of yourself in 2025, you must identify and remove toxic influences, whether they're people, habits, environments, or self-limiting beliefs. By doing so, you create space for growth, positivity, and empowerment. Surround yourself with support, embrace healthy habits, and cultivate a mindset that aligns with your true potential. Letting go of what holds you back will unlock the door to your transformation and success.